Welcome, everyone, to my first episode Under the Lights. My name is Sam Orseno. I am here with Jackson Weber.
How you doing?
And we are going to do everything sports. So we're going to talk about a little bit of, the comedy side, a little bit about the informational side. We're average sports fans. We don't know above and beyond, but we can give you some fun content throughout the week. This podcast, we will be going through kind of the picks of the week. We're going to kind of focus on the NFL as it is coming up. Jump right into WTFs. A little fun segment there. We're going to focus on the Premier League a little bit, and we're also going to jump into feelings, no facts, full opinions, no facts, just what we're going with. Today, we are talking about, the favorite game of the week. So, Jackson, some of the highlights of the week, we got Bills-Rams
Should be good.
Thursday night. We have
It's a great
the
opener.
Bucks-Cowboys. We don't like Cowboys fans here, so we got
We also
Chiefs-Cardinals.
don't like Tom Brady, so there's that
That
too.
is true. And we're also going to talk about two teams that got brand new quarterbacks who are playing against their old teams, which are the Broncos v. Seahawks and the Browns Panthers. So, Jackson, give me a little bit of what you think about this new NFL season coming up.
So I think this week one's going to be pretty good. Baker Mayfield going against his old team, the Browns, I hope he gets flattened by his defense. We don't know what happened there specifically, but
we know something happened.
We know something happened. So seeing him just get absolutely destroyed by that defense is going to be a highlight of my week. Russell Wilson leaving the Seahawks, it was kind of unexpected, honestly.
I kind of thought he was going to retire there.
A little bit,
But
yeah.
he did sign a pretty hefty contract when he got to
He did,
the
and he
Denver
just
side.
signed a huge
He did.
$245
Something
million
like that.
dollar extension for 5 years with $165 guaranteed. That's a massive
That's a lot of money.
contract.
That's a lot of
huge.
money.
It was definitely a weird jump to go to the Broncos too, I thought. But
I
more
don't
power
think they
to
have a
them.
horrible team going into the season.
They just had a below average.
I think
team,
they're
I
going to
think.
end up in their division. They got some heavy hitters in their division, so I think they're going to end up
They're
towards
probably
the bottom. 3-4.
second or third, I feel like.
Probably third, fourth.
Maybe a wild card. I think at the best
they
they'll
might.
maybe get a
Depends
wild
on
card.
if he decides to play out of his mind. But
does.
if he injures his hand like he did, last season or 2 seasons ago, it's just not going to work out.
No.
So my favorite game of the week, I am looking forward to Bills-Rams, defending champs going after one of the biggest offenses in this year.
Loaded offense.
Loaded offense. They have a lot of heavy hitters in there. Right now the statistics are saying Bills minus 2.5, which, I see, but defending champs, OBJ will be out for week 1.
He will, yeah.
But it's that Thursday night game. It's what everyone's going to be tuned in for. Football is back.
I mean,
So-
Aaron Donald is just a monster
He
on the
is.
field. And you probably saw when he had the huge fight at the practice,
Yep.
wielding 2 helmets at a practice session.
He's a monster.
The season hasn't started yet.
He's a monster.
And he's using 2 helmets as weapons.
He is.
That man's out for blood this
He is.
season.
He's getting his contract. He just won.
Hmm.
He's feeling himself. And,
Yeah.
I thought he was going to push retirement this year. I'm not going to cap.
I think a lot of people did.
And I'm kind of surprised he didn't because I know he has a young family and he does a lot of stuff outside of football.
Mhm.
He's a great guy. And I know, homegrown Pittsburgh, went to the same high school as my father. So, got to get that shout out. Went to Pitt. Jackson, let me hear your game of the week.
So my favorite game has my personal bias on it. It's the Packers and the Vikings.
Who thought
I'm a
we were going to go
Vikings
there?
fan.
Yep, he
I'm
is.
a diehard Vikings fan. But I do think this game is going to be really good. We got Aaron Rodgers, the reigning MVP, sadly, still playing. No Devontae Adams, though. He's lost
That is a big one.
He was a weapon. He was a
He was.
deadly weapon last year. And without him, we got to see what he can do. And the Vikings they still got Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, still Kirk Cousins. But
Kirk Cousins is, I don't think he gets enough props. He does pretty good. He has
his moments.
A great quarterback,
No.
but I think he fills the role that they need.
At times. Other
definitely
times, he
underperforms at
definitely,
sometimes.
yeah. Mhm.
He feels the pressure, but there are some times where he does outrageous performances and no one talks about it.
Yes.
But ESPN is a little biased anyway, but we won't get in that conversation right now.
No.
Worst game of the week for me has got to be the Jags and the Commanders.
I'm have to agree with you on that one.
That
Yeah, that won't be great.
I don't think anyone's going to tune in unless you're from that area.
Or that's what you have to watch in that area.
I guess it is week 1, so people will be tuning in. It's just not going to be a fun game because, Commanders, I don't even know anyone on their team.
I think Carson Wentz is their quarterback. He is. Carson Wentz is their quarterback.
Yes.
And it's
don't
just
even get me started about Carson
Wentz.
Like, he's not good.
He's not.
He's not.
He's not.
Even when he was on the Eagles, whenever they were like, oh, he should win the MVP, I just never saw it. And then he got injured. And then
Nick Foles comes on and just wins their Super Bowl for him.
Yeah.
And then Jaguars have Trevor Lawrence still. I mean, this is the year he's got to do. He's got to do something to warrant to stay in the NFL this year. This is the year.
Yes. And the thing is, I don't really know if he's up for the task. I think he's one of those quarterbacks that's going to kind of get pushed aside, just like a few of the quarterbacks we're seeing these days. But I think once he gets traded and gets on a new team, I think that's where he shines.
Well, I think he also just got drafted into a horrible team.
Horrible mess.
There's no way
horrible coach
to solve that team with a new quarterback. There's so many things wrong with.
It's not even the team. It's the whole organization. If you look at it that way, because
I mean, they had the whole
from top to bottom,
Urban Meyer coaching scandals, that happened with them. There was, yeah. But I don't see anything good happening to Trevor Lawrence unless he makes it happen somehow.
Welcome to a new segment I like to call WTFs. You kind of can tell what that means. Kind of outlandish stuff, storylines, what we're feeling, kind of jokes. We're going to dive into Premier League a little bit. We're going to jump into my favorite club, Arsenal, Gunners. Let's go Gunners. And their storyline. They are 5-0 through the Premier League so far. They are at the top of the table. No one thought this, except for me as an Arsenal fan, but past few years have just made me want to cry each day of my life. So I'm finally getting the storyline I like. So we're going to talk about that a little bit, and we're also going to jump in this whole Liverpool nonsense. Man City, they're probably going to win the league again. I hate to say it, but Erling Haaland, 9 goals so far. He has more than Chelsea combined, which is outrageous.
Sad.
And you know what? We can also talk about little Manchester United and what they have going on, but Arsenal right now, they picked up a lot of good transfers in the summer window to Zinchenko and my boy Gabriel Jesus, which makes the third Gabriel on the team. Funny. Under Martinelli, Gabby, and Gabriel Jesus. The whole team is running right now, and if you look, the morale of the squad has just been so high. They have been so fun to watch. It brings me up as a supporter. Any thoughts?
I mean, Arsenal's your team. I'm a Chelsea fan, so I'm just not having a great year so far.
Yeah,
it's just been loss after loss.
I mean, you just lost to Southampton, so
it's looking bad.
It's embarrassing.
It's
embarrassing. But I mean, I love it because the farther those big teams get down, the more room Arsenal has to play with in staying at the top of the league.
And potential for Arsenal to just lose it all. That's always there.
You know what? I don't think with our squad right now that it's always lingering in the back of the mind being an Arsenal supporter for these past few years where it's just, we had a winning culture, we had a winning way, and then no one wanted to come with us. And we couldn't pick any transfers. We couldn't do anything. It was embarrassing. I didn't like calling myself an Arsenal supporter because it hurt. Basically like being a Browns fan for reference. So, but now we can hop into this whole Liverpool. A few weeks ago, they played Manchester United and they lost 2-1 to a team I say is got to be one of the worst teams. They're picking up a few bit. Manchester United are figuring some things out, but they're probably floating around 10th at the table at this point. So they lost to them, and then Liverpool goes and plays Bournemouth which is a club that just got promoted through the Championship and now are in the Premier League. But it is embarrassing to see 9-0.
That's almost unheard of in soccer.
It's basically like a football game at that point. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, that'd be if like an NFL team scored 12 times on another opponent. You just wouldn't want to be on the other side of that type of a beating.
It
almost.
Is. And it was 5-0 at halftime.
Yeah.
It's like,
you can step on the brakes then, and they just decided, no, we're going to keep going.
Yeah, I think they needed the ego boost, but the memes that were coming out of this thing, I was seeing Bournemouth, they posted a picture of their team saying the boys are locked in and ready, and then they get blown out.
They weren't ready for that.
Nothing. It's not a good look,
No.
especially coming up in these first few weeks of the league. But then they play. Most recent game was against Newcastle. Tied 1-1 through extra time with a little added time at the end, and they scrape by with a goal. 2-1, Liverpool wins. I hate it, personally. I know you're a Chelsea fan and you hate it, so it's embarrassing.
Yeah, it shouldn't have happened.
The reffing was bad.
Yeah.
It was just I
all around not a great match.
It's rough. Yeah. But the whole, Liverpool up and down, I like it so far. They're, I think, 8th right now in the table, but they were at the bottom of the table at the beginning of the season, so that always makes me happy. We're going to jump into another little segment here called Feelings, No Facts. It is just opinion-based, and we're going to have fun with it. First thing we're going to get into a big controversial topic at the moment, which is Livv Golf. Let me hear it. I want to hear you, Jackson. Let me hear it.
So Livv Golf just signed the number 2 golfer, Cameron Smith. They signed him for $100 million up front. $100 million just to sign. That's not. He hasn't played in a single tournament for them. He hasn't hit one ball in one of those tournaments, and he just got $100 million.
For a little reference too, Rory McIlroy just won the Tour Championship, which is like the big championship. His purse was $18 million
for playing his heart out.
For winning a golf tournament, playing against the best golfers in the world. $18 million, where this athlete, another athlete, going to Liv gets $100 million.
I mean, we saw Phil Mickelson. He was one of the big first ones to join. I think he made somewhere in the $200 million or maybe $300 million
They
range.
wanted to give Tiger Woods a bill.
They did, yeah. And he refused them, no matter what it was. But
which big ups to Tiger for that, but
I respect Tiger for that, because my thoughts on the Livv Golf, I hope it doesn't go well, and I don't think it will. Because it doesn't have the prestige of the PGA Tour.
They are brand new, though.
Yeah. And
how they came into the league is a little different.
And I don't think that's why they're going to do great, because the PGA Tour has so much history to it. It's got all the historic courses, or most of the historic courses in it. And Livv Golf doesn't have anything. Like, they're not going to be playing on those at those weekends. They don't have a television contract right now, so you can't it's hard to watch
Saudi money, though.
Yeah, but it's hard to watch those tournaments right now.
Yeah. I saw a clip the other day where someone put it within 2 inches and the cameraman missed it.
Yeah.
Embarrassing. But I am going to play devil's advocate because, for a lot of these golfers, they are making, especially right now, they're making not a lot of money playing in these big golf tournaments.
Yes.
So if you come even in first, you get 80 mil.
But they're also giving these, this huge figure deals. They're giving to the top players of the PGA. So these are the people that are winning tournaments, or they're coming close, and they've got probably a lot of sponsorships already. So they're making a lot of money from that. It'd be better if they were giving these younger athletes right out of college, they were giving them big sums of money, because then it's like, okay, let's see what they can do. But now that we're giving Phil Mickelson, Cameron Smith, I think
the thing is,
Watson,
they're not big enough in the golf industry yet.
And that's kind of the problem too, because
how it's working right now is kind of feel like Livv Golf feels like, we'll say in reference, the NFL, whereas PGA Tour feels like the college.
Well, no, I feel like the
breed ground, the farm system.
The PGA is like the NFL. The Livv Golf is like this new thing the XFL, The Rock is doing. Nobody's taking this seriously.
People are taking it seriously.
Which one, Livv or
Livv? They're taking it seriously. There's a lot of money getting thrown around right now,
and that's why. But I think once they aren't able to get these huge players from the PGA, then I think it's going to start to die down, because what are they going to do? Pay some 22-year-old who just got out of college $90 million to play for them?
No matter what, if you're barking up that kind of money, you're going to get people.
And
I don't like playing for the money, but when you've got a family to support, and there's a lot of things going on, a lot of people want FU money, and that's what you're getting, to where you can be like, you know what, I was playing 14 plus tournaments not all PGA, but I'm playing tournament after tournament after tournament, playing hours on end every day to practice, and I'm
barely making any money. Yeah.
Some golfers are making a few $100,000. Some are making less.
Most are making less.
The only top few percent, like the Rorys, the Tigers, those kind of people are making those millions of dollars. So if you're getting in a contract, if you walk in and say Livv is standing right there, Jackson, you are the number 3 golfer in the world right now, clearly because I'm number 1. I want to offer you a $100 million contract to play with Livv Golf. You can't tell me you're taking that. You're not taking that.
That would be difficult, yeah. But
just to say you're going to play in a prestigious thing as the PGA.
Well, these Livv Golf players aren't able to. I don't think they're able to play in the Opens. I don't think they're able to play in the Masters yet. I don't know if that's actually been decided. That might not have been decided.
The thing is, you can't play in Jefferson Cup, I believe, which, so for a little reference, the Masters and I believe some of the U.S. Opens are not affiliated, even though it seems that they are. They are not affiliated with the PGA Tour. They're their own tournament.
Yeah.
So like the Green Jacket, that's its own thing. So I feel like it's not going to be as hard for those Livv Golf players to jump into those major tournaments because they are not a technical affiliate with PGA.
And I also think from the fan perspective, the Livv Golf thing isn't at least going to work out in the first couple of years if they're going to play on like new courses, because you got to think
there's a lot of nice courses out
Augusta there. National, I think it was 150 years, wasn't it? This past Masters, that's a long time.
That's
over
in Scotland.
That's well more than one person's lifetime, and that's history right there that Livv Golf can't get for another 100 years.
But the thing is, they're doing a lot right now to get the millennial crowd in. They're doing a lot of fun stuff at press conferences where they're playing jokes with these.
But you got to think, these young people that are watching and playing golf, they got into it from probably their dad or their mom who watched like these major tournaments. Like, you got to think.
The thing is, though, a lot of people do not like golf.
Yeah.
Especially watching it, where I feel like Livv is trying to bring that love of the game back, even though, their means of doing it, the whole Saudi money, is not the best.
That's problematic right there in itself.
But I like what they're doing with it because they're trying to make it interesting for this younger audience. Just like how Steph Curry is making the game of basketball more fun, he's changing the game. They're trying to change the game via social media. Right now, it doesn't look great, especially it just feels like a money grab. So it's pulling a lot of strings for those true diehard golf fans. But if you're getting forked out $100 million, you're going to get a lot of players.
But I think it was the BMW Cup about a month ago they had. It's like a brand new cup they had. And the only biggest thing I think they marketed it with was that players who won, I think, got $20 million or $12 million. And it's like, I know they're going to make millions of dollars if they win. That's not going to get me to watch it just because you tell me, oh, they're going to win $20 million. So if Livv Golf tells everybody like, oh, the person who wins this gets $75 million, it's like, okay, I know everybody who signed with you just signed hundreds of millions of dollars.
The thing is, too, they're all guaranteed money once they play in the tournament.
Yeah.
Which is different from the PGA. But PGA is tough.
And then you have to think, if they're guaranteed $100 million, $150 million, are they going to be playing at their best? Because, yes, it's a lot less money in the PGA. And yes, it is a lot more historic. So a lot of people know what the PGA is if you say that. But winning those hard courses and difficult courses that require a lot of skill and a lot of mastery to win, it brings out the best in that golfer. But if you're playing on some Livv Golf course and I've playing on this Livv Golf course and I've got $150 million sitting in my bank account right now, I'm not playing for giving it my all. Because I know I have enough money to last me for the rest of my life.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the PGA players are definitely going to have a chip on their shoulder, especially with all that's going on in Livv Golf right now. It's definitely going to be hard for the PGA to keep up.
I am excited,
so much money.
With all these players leaving, I'm excited for younger talents to come out.
That will be fun.
Because that's going to be good. Seeing a new age of talent just really shine.
A lot of people coming off the Corn Ferry through college.
Yep. It'll be good.
It'll be good. We'll find a lot of talent that otherwise we would not find.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So that'll definitely be interesting. And I am going to be excited to see what they come up with, because I know Tiger and Rory are coming out with a new thing. I don't know all the logistics behind it yet, but it's basically going to be played in a stadium. It's all basically off mats, and you're playing. It's a weird concept. It's basically like a video game, but in person.
Yeah. It's in its early stages of development right now.
I am excited to see where this goes, though.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you can find out a lot of organization once they try and get that competition in here. So that'll definitely be interesting. Well, I would like to take a quick thank you to one of the producers of this show. His name is John Jacob Drew Heimer Schmidt. He has 3 first names. Yes, that is true. And I'm just, poking a little fun at him, but he did do a lot for this podcast. He set up all these cameras, got them formatted, got them white balanced, everything.
Set up all these mics.
Got everything going good. So big shout out to him. Big shout out to Jackson for coming out. I appreciate that.
It was really fun. Really fun.
Really fun having this whole thing set up. We did a podcast for Jackson before this called Garbage Reels. Make sure to check that on all streaming platforms. And you can also check this out on all streaming platforms and hopefully YouTube. This will be up on. So we're going to figure that all out as the first podcast. But thank you for watching and listening, and we will see you next week.